7-Eleven cuts ATM fees from more than 4,000 U.S. locations. Hy-Vee and Iowa Corn and Growth Energy join forces to promote ethanol-blended fuel, and Weis Markets announces plans to build 3 new stores, the first new construction project since 2022. Welcome to Retail Daily, your quick look at the top stories from Supermarket News and CSP Daily News. I'm Supermarket News Editor Tim Inkelbarger.
And I'm Editor-in-Chief Abby Lewis.
Vermont has received a total of $23.1 million from tobacco manufacturers under the Tobacco Master Settlement Agreement, Vermont Attorney General Charity Clark said Tuesday. The settlement funds are credited to the state's tobacco fund, and the legislature determines how they are spent, the Attorney General's office said in a statement.
7-Eleven will offer surcharge-free cash withdrawals and deposits at ATMs at more than 4,000 of its stores across the U.S. This is in partnership with NCR Atleos Corporation, a self-service financial access company, and all Point Network members will have access.
Hy-Vee and Iowa Corn and Growth Energy are partnering to promote ethanol-blended fuel across the retailer's Fast and Fresh convenience store brand in the Midwest. Hy-Vee now has more than 50 locations across the region that offer unleaded 88 and plans to add the fuel grade to more locations in the future, Iowa Corn and Growth Energy said in a statement. Lucas Glasgow, Hy-Vee's Senior Vice President of Merchandising, said the partnership will help customers identify unleaded 88 from other fuel grades.
Ahold Delhaize Wednesday said a 17.9% jump in online sales in the United States helped drive overall U.S. sales growth in the first quarter, despite a drag on revenues from the closure of 32 underperforming Stop & Shop locations last year. U.S. sales were up 1.8% for the quarter to about $14.7 billion compared with the year-ago first quarter. In addition to the increase in online sales, the company's U.S. division also recorded comparable store sales gains of 3.1%, excluding gasoline.
Weis Markets on Wednesday said it plans to open 3 new stores in 2025 and 1 in 2026, making its first new store construction since 2022. The company announced the plans as it reported an 11.6% decrease in net income for the first quarter to $20.5 million, compared with the first quarter of a year ago. Revenues were up 1.6% for the quarter to $1.2 billion, and comparable store sales rose 1%. Adjusted for the Easter holiday, which took place in Q1 last year but in Q2 this year, the company estimated that Q1 sales rose 2.7%.
Delek U.S. Holdings reported a net loss of $172.7 million, or $2.78 per share, in its 2025 first quarter that ended March 31st, the Brentwood, Tennessee-based company said in its earnings call Wednesday. Avigal Sorek, president and CEO, said the company showed incremental progress in achieving its sum of the parts goals and improving the overall profitability of the company despite continued challenging market conditions. Last year, FEMSA entered into definitive agreements with Delek U.S. Holdings Incorporated to acquire Delek's retail operations, consisting of 249 convenience stores. FEMSA earlier this year began rebranding the convenience stores to OXXO.
And that'll do it for today's episode of Retail Daily. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more for your daily dose of retail news. For more on these stories, visit CSP Daily News and Supermarket News. I'm Tim Inkelbarger.
And I'm Abby Lewis. Have a great day.